So, surging budget surpluses in recent years here in Connecticut have allowed us to pay down massive amounts of long-term debt and make up for some federal cuts from the Trump administration, like SNAP benefits and other cuts to the Affordable Care Act. But Connecticut still feels expensive, and lawmakers on both sides of the aisle are looking to give taxpayers a break. Republicans in the House released their plan this week, and cuts are at the center of it. Representative Vincent Candelora, welcome. Good to see you. Leader in the House. Middle-class tax cuts. You guys have been talking about it for months. How much could a family of four save, and how do you get around achieving it?
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of the ignored class in the state of Connecticut. We see a healthy safety net formed for our lower income people, and obviously our wealthy in the state still do fine. Yeah. But the middle class have been ignored, and we're seeing property taxes increase year over year. So we want to focus on getting those taxes down. The two ways to do it is properly funding education. We're proposing to this year put $365 million into education throughout the state of Connecticut, give every town and city a chunk of money, basically, to help offset the rising costs of their budgets. And then also increase the property tax credit. When Governor Rell took office, and I was in office in 2007, the property tax credit was $500. It was eliminated over time and then phased in. We want to bring it back up to $650, which still isn't enough, but it would provide something for residents.
So the education cost sharing grant, which is the amount of money each city and town gets from the state, hasn't been adjusted since something like 2013, right? So if that didn't go with inflation like the rest of our budget, would this one chunk make up for it?
It'll start to make up for it, but we have to have a broader conversation next year in how to really fix the formula. I look at my community of Guilford. Back in 1996, 11% of their budget was funded through the state. Now it's only 2%.
Oh, wow.
So it just shows the decline. The state has not kept up with its fair share of funding.
So to kind of make all these things work, the Connecticut Mirror reports that it takes some accounting maneuvers. Critics will say, oh, you know, this is a gimmick. We need to figure this out. One of the other things that is involved in here is how we pay hospitals.
Yes.
How do we try to make that work? And is it a gimmick or is it a maneuver? What is it?
No, so the hospital tax needs to be renegotiated. It's actually expiring. We're one of the only states that don't have it in place.
Okay.
What that means is Connecticut stands to lose hundreds of millions of dollars from federal funding. So our budget addresses that issue, which frankly the governor has not yet addressed, or the Democrats, and we adopt a funding formula. We do put that structure outside the budget because it's federal funds, it's not part of state funds. The funds that come into the state are put on budget, but it's the way to create the whole formula to help fund our health care. If those funds go away, we're going to see health care in even greater crisis.
Now, for people who don't know, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, we tax the hospitals. That money is added to the budget. Then we get more money from the federal government and we pay the hospitals back. Is that how?
That's right. Okay. So it is a huge shell game.
Right.
It's a way that the state brings in revenue. The federal bill, H.R. 1, is starting to phase that out, and that's why we're in danger of losing it, because you need to put it on the books or you'll lose it altogether.
So do you see, have you spoken with Democrats yet? Are there areas for compromise, whether it's the hospital tax or the education cost sharing? What are the conversations like so far?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little disappointed where the conversations are going. You know, it is a very partisan process right now. We do share common issues, but a lot of their proposals are one-time gimmicks. So let's spend some of our slush money, put it out the door, give people some tax relief, but it's not systemic change. Our budget, everything is sustainable and it's systemic. It's put into the operating budget, not just put into a slush fund and paid out, and it'll go away next year.
Well, you're talking about the governor's tax
rebate.
Tax rebate that would come out in October, a month before he is up for re-election, and it would be a one-time thing, just to check and then be done. So you want more sustained.
That's right. Even the education funding shouldn't be one time. It needs to be sustained.
So what about earmarks? There's a big investigation going on in Senator Doug McCrory, and the FBI is looking into it. Earmarks still exist. Both parties use them. You know, it's a special amount of money that you can go to a pet project in your district, whether it's a statue or a bridge repair in a park, things like that. How should that move forward?
So we just passed a bill out of the House last week that addresses the issue. I think it was bipartisan, it was unanimous out of the House, in bringing transparency to the process and allowing agencies to say, you know what, we're not giving you the money because you're not proving that you're worthy of it. But the other side of the equation is we do need to fund programs, the agencies, and empower them to be able to review earmarks, and they should be the ones giving the money out, not doing it for political favor. So our budget incorporates a structure within the Department of Economic Community Development that actually make sure the money goes to the right place.
That's being used as advertised.
That's right.
Representative Candelora, good to see you. Thanks for coming in.